Everyone. We are officially live. And tonight we are going to be announcing the top 8 placements for our 30 Days to Round Challenge.
So there's going to be 8 very happy people.
8 very happy people.
And everybody else, you should be happy. It is in Beckenhall's book, he talks about, becoming a good rider just for the sake of becoming a good rider and improving the communication with your horse. And you may never make a team, and nobody may ever know that you're a better rider, but you know, and more importantly, your horse knows.
Yeah. Yes. So I think that is a really important thing to bring up tonight and to talk about before we announce the winners, which is I'm so proud of everyone who participated in the 30 Days to Round Challenge. And really for everyone who has a horse and who gets out there and tries and rides, because it is
Kudos
hard.
to you.
It is very hard. And often the horses that make us better, the horses that really make us become true horsemen, are the difficult ones. And those are the horses that you maybe don't win the blue ribbons and that no one recognizes you for. But those really are the horses that teach you a lot. And I know
my shoer is very excited because my mare is really calm and quiet and easy to work with now. And she was a nightmare in the cross ties before. So like he noticed, right?
Yeah.
It's still not so good in the show.
Yes. So I think I know Herman has a difficult mare right now. I've definitely had some difficult horses in my life. And it's also really important to remember the journey and the process and to think about where you started with your horse and then where you are now. Because what we see, like in watching hundreds of videos, are two little snapshots 30 days apart. We have no idea how
5 years before that, or
right.
3 years from now.
Yeah, how far you've come, what challenges you have overcome with your horse. I think
and yourself too. I mean, there's a lot of that.
Yes. Yeah. What you've overcome with yourself, with your horse. It's all about the journey and it's all about the process. And I think it's always important with these horses that we have goals, we have things that we're working towards, but we always just remember every single day to love our horses and to enjoy our horses. They are such a gift. And that's definitely one thing that we saw with watching hundreds of videos these last 4 days is just the partnership and the bond that each and every one of you have with your horse is truly remarkable. And there are some really amazing horses in this group.
Yeah, and some really great things happened, transpired, and you can't reward all of them.
Yeah.
But there is a reward in all of it.
Yes. Yes. And we definitely saw that. We saw, I have a list here of themes because we have literally been watching videos since Sunday night. We've watched
24 hours a day. No.
Yeah.
we went through a few.
Yes, we watched hundreds of videos and we really enjoyed seeing all of the videos, seeing everyone's arenas. I think that has been really fun to just see the different landscapes, the different backdrops.
Right. I remember I was looking at that one going, oh my God, that's in the Outback. That's got to be the Outback. That looks like that has to be. And then she was in that Australian saddle. I'm like, that's got to be the Outback.
Yeah. And there were some, in beautiful indoor arenas. There were some out in the open, like
on the grass, in the sand, in the woods, in the rain.
Yeah, it really was dressage for all. We have a video to show that Nicole from my team put together with everyone saying dressage for all, and it is so cute. So we're going to show that before we announce the winners tonight. But this is my list of themes. So the first big theme that we saw during the 30 Days to Round Challenge was groundwork. And I think groundwork is a skill and a tool that often people forget about, or they're not taught, or they don't use. There was actually
They don't use, they just kind of get on and go.
right, because we all would rather ride. But there was one student from Germany, and she made this really funny post, and she was like, I always thought groundwork was just for people who were lazy or didn't want to ride. But then I started doing the groundwork.
Right. It was like, oh, wow, my horse has changed.
Yeah. So groundwork is a really important place where you start to develop communication and trust with your horse. And I think that when you start to have that bond with your horse, and when you figure out that you can explain things to your horse from the ground, like you can teach your horse to go around from the ground, you can teach your horse to bend from the ground. And then when you get on, it makes so much more sense, not only to you in your understanding of how to apply the aids, but also to your horse. And it was really fun to see people doing the groundwork exercises and then seeing the results of that. And going into winter, that's definitely a theme that we have coming up in the business. I'm going to be doing a webinar on groundwork in November. And the truth of the matter is we spend a lot of time with our horses on the ground. And as Herman mentioned, it's a lot nicer when your horse stands for the farrier, goes in the horse trailer, all those things.
All those things that you kind of take for granted. I do, right? When somebody sends me a horse to training, I assume that all of those things are in place. And boy, is it a surprise when it's not. And
Yes. Julie, how many contestants were participating in 30 Days to Round? That is a good question. We had about 1,800,
okay,
including the Strides members. So everyone who's in Strides is our ongoing membership. Everyone in Strides automatically gets enrolled in the challenges that we do, which is super fun. And so we had a lot of students this year. Okay. My second theme was rider position. How does rider position affect your roundness?
Only the rider in the correct position can give the correct aids.
Yes, very true. And so I really appreciated people posting about how when they focused on their position, they saw a difference in their horse going round. There was also a fitness component, like an optional add-on fitness bonus, where we gave you some unmounted exercises to help you with your roundness. But if we want our horses to go around and have good posture and engage their core and their top line, guess what? We have to ride with good posture and correct aids, and we need to use our seat and not just pull on our reins. So that was definitely a big theme. And that leads me into the power of video. What's your thoughts on video?
Well, we've actually done the research on that, and people learn. Now I can't remember, it was 20% faster or 80% fast. Anyway, but
a lot faster.
It's a lot faster when they see the videos of themselves.
Yes.
Learning happens at a much accelerated rate with video. That was the point of that scientific study.
Yes.
What's that mean?
Rider position. It's a typo. You're blind.
Oh.
But one of the things with the challenge is you have to submit your before and after video. And a lot of people, when they finally force themselves to video themselves and see a video of themselves riding, instantly you get a lot better because you realize
you see it.
Yes, you see it and you realize what you need to work on.
And it doesn't always feel the way it looks. And so a picture is worth 1,000 words, as it's been said. So a video must be worth tens of thousands of words.
Yeah, exactly. But it is a really powerful tool, and it's something that if you ride alone, if you don't have a trainer, video yourself. Even just set your phone up there on the rail, and little glimmers of yourself going by is honestly better than nothing. And it does really help to boost you up to the next level. Okay. Annie says, my trainer is thrilled with how much my position has improved. So am I.
So are we.
Yes. Fantastic.
Yes. Good for you.
Okay. The other thing that I have on my list of improvements is when we watched before and after videos, one thing that we loved to see was your after videos had a plan and a system to them, which is so important.
It's so much nicer for the horse.
Yes.
Because you're telling the horse, this is what we are going to do. And you streamline your thinking. You're not reacting to what horses are doing. You're telling the horse, this is where we're going and this is how we're going. And the horse goes, well, okay.
Yeah. So we could see a big difference. Like some of the before videos, it's like you're like wandering around the arena.
Right.
We have no clue like what you're doing, what
You,
you're
the
working
horse,
on.
everybody's looking in a different direction. And that's not everyone, but it happened
Yes.
a fair amount.
Yeah. And then in the after video, it was like, okay, the cones were out. All right, there's the snowman
There's
exercise.
direction. And the horse
Okay,
was
there's
like,
the
aye,
leg
aye.
yield. Yeah, and just the purpose and building on what Herman said, when you have that purpose and when you have a plan, it gives you confidence. And it also gives your horse a lot of confidence. And
they get less spooky. They get more focused. They're better on the aids. It improves the elasticity and the suppleness. There's just lots and lots of benefits to it.
Yeah.
There's no downside.
Yeah. So teaching through patterns and through figures is a really, really valuable way to train your horse, particularly if you're new to dressage, if you're just learning, or if your horse is new to dressage, or even if not, like we both use patterns and figures to train our horses.
And remember, dressage just means training, right? It doesn't become dressage until you're doing pirouettes and flying changes. Every horse should lengthen a stride and do a shoulder in and be supple and bent and on the aids.
Yes. The other thing on my list is that it's always really important in your riding and your training to focus on the gain, to focus on how far that you've come in your riding rather than the gap. And what I mean by that is that it's very easy to compare yourself to others, or like Herman and I were saying today, is to think like, oh, my horse is X years old. My horse should be doing this level.
Ugh.
And and that
doesn't make me feel good when I do that.
Right. And that can be like really discouraging. So remember that every horse and every rider progress at a different trajectory.
And learning is not linear.
Yes. Unfortunately. But we're in it together. And as horse people, it's so important that we understand that and that we're here to support one another when you're having a bad day, or when your friend is feeling down, or when you're winning the blue ribbons, but your friend is still at home struggling with confidence. And as horse people, we've all been there. We've all had horses that it's just really easy to train them up the levels. They have a good temperament, their body cooperates, and you can just move up the levels. And then other horses we saw in the videos, and we've heard some stories of horses that have had a difficult background, or they've been mistreated or rescued, or off the track thoroughbreds. And we really want to recognize that is harder and it makes you a better horseman, those horses that are tricky and that are sensitive. And so it's always important to think about how far you've come and the progress that you have made with your horse. So the last thing before we show the video and then announce the winners is I wanted to just give a big shout out to my entire team and to the entire community, because the community inside of the 30 Days to Round Facebook group was just amazing. If you are watching here live, please type in the comments dressage for all or something, one word about the community. But it was just amazing to read all of the posts and all of the questions, and everyone was helping one another, offering support, offering encouragement. And it was so special. And I really appreciate all of you for being a part of that. There's no way that I could do this alone. And I think that that makes it really special. And it also, the more you help other people, the more it helps you to make progress in your riding.
I had one of my judges tell me that, you've got to give back. And so I scribed a ton.
Yeah.
I volunteered.
Yeah. You have to give back. It makes you feel good. At the end of the day, it makes you feel good when you help someone else, when you make a difference in someone else's lives. I mean, that's like I'm watching all the videos made me kind of emotional because I'm like, I can't believe that all of you are out there like trying to do this thing because I tell you to do it. And and all of you are out
and
there.
your horses are happy, and then you like us because your horses are happy. It's really amazing. It's like a billion stars in the sky, kind of amazing. Anyway.
Yes. And I also want to give a big shout out to all of the group experts. So Molly, Amy, Nicole, Joellen, Linda, Donna. I know I'm going to miss some people, Amy, and then of course my team. So Nicole, she is amazing. I know you have met her in some of her Facebook Live sessions, and she put together the video that I'm about to show you. So a big thank you to Nicole. A big thank you to my amazing mother, Joellen. Thank you to Olivia. And of course, thank you to Herman, because
I drive the truck.
He's incredibly supportive.
I drive the truck.
I work way more than I should, but you have to have support. You have to have supportive husbands. I heard some supportive husbands on the
yes, there were some guys doing the videos. That's for sure.
Okay, so I'm going to show this video. I hope it works. We're trying a new thing, so hopefully this works. We're going to show you.
Everybody, we're all in this one together.
The video, and hopefully the audio works as well. Okay, to share audio, share tab. Okay. I hope that this is working. All right. Okay, there's the video. Hopefully the audio works. Let me know when I start playing this if the audio works. Dressage for all. Congratulations, and thank you for everyone who participated in the 30 Days to Round Challenge. It has been so much fun to sit down and go through all of your videos, to see your arenas, your beautiful horses, the amazing partnership that you have with your horse, and of course your progress. So I just wanted to put together this quick video where we highlight many of you saying dressage for all, which was so cute, as well as to highlight some of our top 7 winners and their incredible transformations. I also want to remind you that training is a process, so keep up the good work, keep practicing the exercises, and I cannot wait to keep up with you and watch your continued progress. Action. Dressage for all. Dressage for all. Dressage for all. Dressage for all.
Dressage for all.
Dressage for all. And we believe in dressage for all.
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 It's dressage for all.
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 Dressage for all. Dressage for all.
Dressage for all.
Dressage for all.
Dressage for all.
Dressage for all.
Dressage for all.
Dressage for all.
Dressage for all.
Dressage for all.
Dressage for all.
Dressage for all.
Dressage for all.
Dressage for all. Dressage for all.
Dressage for all.
Dressage for all.
Dressage for all.
Dressage for all. Dressage for all.
Dressage for all.
Right, Mikey?
Dressage for all.
Dressage for all.
Dressage for all.
Dressage for all.
Gracie, I'm 8 years old and dressage for all.
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 Dressage for all. Dressage for all.
Dressage for all.
Dressage for all. Dressage for all. Dressage for all.
Dressage for all.
Dressage for all.
Dressage for all.
Dressage for all.
Dressage for all.
Dressage for all.
Dressage for all.
Dressage for all.
Dressage for all.
Dressage for all.
now we have to figure out how to stop.
Now we have to get back.
Okay, we're
All right,
back.
We're back. We hope. We think.
Yes. But big thank you to Nicole for putting that together. That was very special. It really is dressage for all. And I think that brought it to light, just seeing everyone's different horses, different arenas, different accents. The link is there in the chat. Apparently the video is a little bit blurry and we apologize. So if you want to watch it again, please use the link in the chat. And thank you, Nicole, for putting that together. Okay. So now for our winners, we're going to start with honorable mentions. Then we're going to go from 8th place down to 1st place. We are giving away a total of $10,000, actually a little more because we're doing 8 winners, but that's fine. And yeah, this is the fun part. So our honorable mentions, I apologize if I butcher your names. Elizabeth Creighton Brink, Monique Tendall, Gracie and her mother, Dawn Leonard, Michelle Benout, Anna Rydenholst's daughter, Kat Benson, Carrie Maniki, Kim Harlan, and Karen Robinson. So thank you. Those are all of our honorable mentions. You will be getting a Amelia Newcomb Dressage hat. So please watch your email and make sure. Well, watch your email, send us your address, and then we'll send you a hat. So thank you to you guys. Starting with 8th place, we have some little stories to read about the winners, which is always fun. I always love to hear the background behind these winners. Our 8th place winner, who unfortunately we did not hear back from, is Donna Burden. What we do know about Donna is that her horse's name is Smarty and she lives in Alberta, Canada. So congratulations, Donna Burden. Our 7th place winner is Cynthia Smith and Hank. Do you want to read about Cynthia?
I can read.
You have your
Put on my
glasses on?
I'm good. So she says that she's over 60 and waited over 50 years to purchase Hank. Before that, she had leased and ridden many horses and friend horses and ponies across breeds and disciplines at lower levels. So Hank is her dream that she saved up for over years and had made purchased on consignment. With a little history, taking time to build trust strength and figure things out, this course has added wonderful structure to do this, and she thanks us.
Congratulations, Cynthia and Hank. We loved watching your video and seeing your progress. Okay, 6th place goes to Kara Blokeland and Madeline. I really loved watching this pair. So this is what Kara says. This challenge has truly made a world of difference for my horse's training and health, and it means so much to have our efforts recognized. I'm a 22-year-old university student from Ontario, Canada, and I'm primarily a hunter jumper rider who dabbles in a bit of dressage. I bought my first horse, a 14-year-old off the track thoroughbred mare named Madeline, a year and a half ago. When I met Madeline, she was very undernourished and was scored a 2.5 for her body condition. So yeah, she was super skinny. I saw some photos, yet her previous owner was jumping her 3 feet at the time. Aside from her physical condition, she was also mentally damaged from the people who treated her like a machine. And she was unconfident and anxious as a result. Our journey together has been tough with many setbacks, including multiple colics and other health issues. So it has been my mission to focus on redeveloping Madeline properly to improve her health and longevity. With enough determination, advocation, and with the right management, I am proud to say that Madeline is now thriving, especially in the past 4 months and 30 days. She has transformed from a nervous, uptight horse to a more relaxed, supple, and balanced horse. As for the future, I will continue to utilize everything we have learned from 30 Days to Round and keep incorporating the exercises into our daily routine. So congratulations, Kara and Madeline. And I love how she pointed out that we will continue forward. 30 Days to Round is just the start. it's not the end.
It's not the end.
You still have a lot of work to do. So
It is not the destination.
yeah, congratulations, Kara.
Okay, so
Okay,
then we
so
have
you're
fifth
doing
place.
5th place. And so 8th place through, I think, 4th through 8th get $250.
So we have 5th place, Carolyn Stimmel and Leo. And Carolyn writes, Leo is a 7-year-old draft cross. Leo's sire is a Shire, 18 hands, and Leo's out of a very loud paint mare that was a show horse in the English world. We purchased him as a weaned colt but didn't take ownership until the following spring. We picked him up on our annual trek from Texas to Red Rock Ranch in Kelly, Wyoming. Leo walked up the ramp onto the trailer like no big deal. We need all sorts of horses on the ranch for trail rides we provide daily for our guests. We got into the mountains and see the most beautiful views imaginable. I chose Leo for Amelia's 30-day challenge because of his willingness to go forward. He is a nice mover, talented, however, not connected. And of the horses I have in training, Leo was like riding a bus, big and stiff. I was like, what? Anyway, I love the challenge as it motivated me to get up, research, watch, film, read, create a daily and weekly plan. Without the challenge, Leo would be just another dude horse. And in my heart, I know he can be made more than that. I knew that if I put the effort into the 30-day challenge, concentrating and digging deep, the ranch would gain a more obedient, connected horse. And we are on a great path now to attaining that goal. I am a lifelong student of the horse. They are our best teachers, and Leo's no exception to this. Yesterday, I had a lovely ride on Leo. The sun was out. The wind was quieting down. I was able to ride him in the pasture as it was drying out. Many of the 30-day challenge exercises I have tried and learned, and the philosophies all came together in that ride. I was ecstatic with our ride as connection to collection came together. Ah, it's bliss. We worked on the exercises, and then I went on a quiet, calm trail ride. Upon returning to the barn area, Leo looked up and was very uneasy with the brown object up ahead. He stopped, tensed up, and I felt a big spook coming. I had left my jacket on the fence post. He abruptly stopped. I had put said jacket there on Leo at the beginning of the ride. Not an issue. A voice in my head told me to use the pole release. As I had found that for riding Leo, this had become a game changer. While mounted, I asked Leo to release his head down. I did this by softly asking right rein, left rein, and he found the release. When he released his head and it went down, then he took a huge breath, kept his head down, and calmly walked towards the jacket. I let him sniff the jacket, then side passed over to the fence, picked up the jacket, draped it over the saddle, and entered the barnyard on a relaxed horse with a loop in the rein. I dismounted and asked him again for the pole release, his new tonic. Prior to the 30-day challenge, I would not have had this peaceful ending to such a beautiful, harmonious ride. I attribute the ending of this particular ride to the learning of ground manners and applying this simple and obtainable exercise. Many thanks you, Amelia, for that. Happy horse equals happy rider. And that is the God's honest truth there.
Yeah. So congratulations. And Leo and Carolyn, it was so fun. With Leo, she does all this like trail riding, and there were photos of him packing out an elk. There were photos of him going through a big stream, and just the backdrop. Carolyn, I would like to move to your ranch in Wyoming. It looks beautiful. But thank you for that story, and especially for bringing in the importance of the groundwork exercises, because they do make a huge difference with the horses. Yeah. Yeah.
That's some good. So then we have
4th place
is Julie Clifton, but we did not hear from her. So she lives in Oxfordshire, England, and the horse's name is Fliss.
Congratulations, Julie.
Congratulations to you. And now we're on to number 3.
Okay, 3rd place. This is one of my favorites. Is Magdalena and Marzi. So this was like the cutest white pony. You might have seen the pony in that
little video bit.
In the little video. So here's what Magdalena says. I'm 25 years old, going to university. I've been riding for 12 years, and I spent a lot of time working with young horses or with traumatized horses that were rescued from bad owners. What I love most about dressage is that it makes it possible to develop a common language that I, as a human, can use to communicate my wishes to horses in a soft and harmonious way. As an added benefit, of course, it keeps horses healthy until old age, which I think is my responsibility as a rider. I met Marzipan for the first time in the beginning of September. He's a Hungarian pony and is probably about 12 years old. He was bought by my riding instructor with the eventual goal of being a lesson horse for children. Pretty quickly, it turned out that he must have had bad experiences with humans. He has a lot of scars all over his face, and when he arrived, he was very afraid of people. Training-wise, he was very green. It was clear that he was not in a position where he could work with children safely. My riding instructor asked me whether I would be up to working with Marzi to help him feel safe with people again and to develop the basics of dressage. Of course, I said yes. Before arriving in Switzerland, he was only ever ridden in the field, so he had no idea what to do in an arena. We started working on steering, finding a little balance in trot and canter. The only way to get canter was through running in the trot until he found the canter. I'm a longtime casual viewer of Amelia's YouTube channel, and since I love learning more about riding to help me, I decided to join the challenge and just see where it would end up taking us. I never expected to get to the point where we are in only 30 days. I feel like Amelia managed to include all of the important steps in this program that help me explain very clearly what I want from Marzi. Marzi is a very sensitive horse who loves working and wants to get things right. That also means he gets stressed very easily if he doesn't understand what I'm asking from him. I think with being able to explain my age to him so well with the different exercises, including the groundwork, I was able to avoid so much stress from Marzipan. Instead, I saw him blossom into a confident little pony during the last month. He's always motivated and loves learning. He's also totally changed his behavior in everyday life. Instead of being head shy and spooking from fast movement, he loves being cuddled now. Overall, he just feels so much more supple and much more relaxed. I'm proud of him for having the courage to find trust in humans again. Once the 30 days were over, we came so much farther than I ever thought would be possible. He's now steady in the connection most of the time and feels more balanced in all 3 gaits. Of course, I will also continue riding him in the future. I also joined Stride so I can continue learning from Amelia and all of the experts. So congratulations, Magdalena. They are our 3rd place winners, and they will be getting $1,500. And I just love hearing the stories behind all of these riders. It's so amazing. And horses, of course.
Yeah.
The fact that we can change them and give them confidence.
Because so many horses, they don't get a good start.
Yeah.
And it's nice when you can help those horses.
But the good part about horses is they're forgiving. They're incredibly forgiving.
They're very noble.
Yes. Okay. Do you want to read second place? $2,500 for second place.
All we know is her name is Meg.
I think her last name is Meg Rack. Meg Rack.
And so my background has been working with thoroughbreds off the racetrack that have all had great work ethics, forward moving and easy to retrain. However, I was ready for a change and I wanted to start with a blank canvas and break in a horse myself. The whole experience has been a real eye-opener, and I've experienced much frustration working with the mindset of my first warm blood. I joined Amelia's challenge to get a different perspective and add some new tools to my tool belt and be able to work with this challenging young horse. I have learned so many tips and techniques to help me on my journey, and I've loved the program. Meg. So congratulations, Meg.
Yes. Okay. And now our first place winner is Aileen Weigel for $5,000. And this is a beautiful paint horse. I think I really like paint horses. No, that's not true. I like all horses. I'm not color biased at all. But the transformation in this horse and rider was really amazing and really special, and just how much softer and more uphill and rounder and more through. It was really special. So here's Aileen's story. When I was a little girl in California, our neighbor's pony kept breaking out of his field into ours, and finally the owner got tired of retrieving him and said, "You can keep him." We didn't know anything about horses, and we didn't even have any tack, but I was drawn to him and started climbing on his back while he was in the field. Eventually, I got a Western bridle and saddle. I never had any lessons, but I did lots of trail riding. My friend and I wanted to compete in shows, but neither of us had the needed resources. Showing and writing English was a dream for me. As I outgrew my pony, my parents eventually bought a horse for me. When I was a teenager, I finally got lessons on a horse with English tack. It was a jumping lesson on a horse that belonged to one of my father's friends. I had so much fun and was looking forward to more lessons, but the horse became lame shortly after that, and I didn't get an opportunity to ride him again. I stopped riding when I was about 20, but got an opportunity to be around horses much later in life when my children wanted to take English riding lessons. I think we have a lot of people in our community that rode as kids and then didn't ride.
That happens. Life gets in the way.
All it took was for me to be around horses again, and I was hooked. So I began taking group lessons with other adults. I loved it, and soon I wanted my own horse. It never crossed my mind that I could own a horse without land until I figured out that they could be boarded. Shortly after that, I bought a quarter horse named Lady. My daughter started showing hunter jumpers and did very well. I rode too, but didn't do any showing. I was mostly a horse mom. Eventually, I bought my current horse. I hope I say this right. Loshaka, a Frisian saddlebred, when he was an unbroke 3-year-old. So she brought an unbroke 3-year-old. Many people thought I was nuts to buy an untrained horse, but I didn't listen. It was very exciting to be the first rider on his back. I worked with a trainer who helped me bring him along. It has been slow because Loshka and I were both learning together. We did a little showing when he was 8 years old at training level. Then we didn't show again until this season. He's now 17. I've been following Amelia and did the last challenge and then joined Strides. By the way, be sure to join Strides. You have until Sunday to join. I have taken a few lessons this season, but mostly I've been using Amelia's online exercises. This has helped me so much because I'm getting the theory and I have a better understanding of what to do in certain circumstances. I really had no idea before that. My trainer could get Loshka to do things, but I couldn't do it myself. So far this season, we've done 6 schooling shows, and I placed in my first recognized this show this year at the age of 60. I am looking forward to continuing our journey in dressage and see how far we can go. Thank you, Amelia and team. You don't know how much it means for me, for you to be helping me realize my childhood dream of showing. That is Aileen. So congratulations, everyone. And
well done.
Well done. Well done.
Well done.
But the thing is that I really want you all to keep it up. And I hope that you've seen what's possible in 30 days when you have a goal, when you have the education, the support, the community, what is possible.
Information.
And yeah. And imagine if you could do that every single 30 days to come. So for those of you that were in the challenge, you are invited to continue with us in Strides. There is a link either above or below this video where you can join us in Strides. If not, you do have lifetime access to the content, and there's a lot of really great exercises in the content that you can go back to and reference over and over again. And I'm really grateful to be a part of your journey with your horse and to help you along the way. It's really special. And thank you for trusting us and trying, getting out there and doing the exercises. None of this would be possible without you going out there and doing the work. So give yourself a pat on the back.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's the thing.
And we'll see you next Thursday. I'm headed to Salt Lake City to teach a symposium this weekend. So I'm really looking forward to it. I hope to see some of you this weekend in Salt Lake City. It's going to be very fun. Herman is here coaching some of my students at the horse show.
The horse show here.
But teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Yes.
Yes.
That's the way it works.
So
So good night, all. And we'll see you around the barn, I suppose.
Good night, everyone.